And let's spend the first hour, or the first half an hour, in the excellent company of The Spectator's assistant editor and columnist in the Sunday Times and columnist in The Sun, Rod Liddle. Welcome, Rod. Are you there? Can he hear?
Nice to be here, mate. How you doing?
Hello, man. Hi, good to see you.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Let's talk, first of all, about the European Court of Human Rights, which has overruled...
Ardit.
Yes, it overruled Britain's decision, quite rightly, to deport Ardit Binaj on account of he's a burglar who was doing 2.5 years in jail. He sneaked back into the country to marry his Lithuanian girlfriend, and great joy, they had a baby. Now, the court has now, the ECHR has now ruled he can stay forever because he has a right to a family life. My question to you, Rod, I mean, obviously this is crazy. He should be kicked out. We allowed him to stay. We allowed him to come to this country. He broke our laws to the extent he's put in prison. Now, in effect, a foreign court has ordered us that he must stay here. My question to you, before we get to the nuts and bolts of this strange case, not the first time this sort of thing has happened, what do we get out of membership of the European Convention of Human Rights?
A very good question in many ways, but I think you're terribly unfair.
Well, you know, you know that, Rod. I am unfair.
Industrious.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, he has been an extraordinarily industrious burglar. He has burgled loads and loads of homes, and he's done so without great success because he's tended to be caught. But we should at least applaud him for trying. And you skated over one important point. Mm-hmm. We are blessed, as you say. There is now a little baby Ardit in the country as well, which is part of the growing number of migrants who've come in and swelled our population so that we're now the size of Bangladesh or something, to 68 million, 0.3. And little Ardit is probably already now trying to work out how to use a Jemmy. And it's great. I think you've been talking about this. Credit to Ardit. I mean, obviously, everyone knows it's an absurdity. Supposedly, he was allowed back in because of the Convention on Human Rights, which allows everyone to have respect. We must have respect for everyone's private life, i.e. their right to a family life and so on. But it's rubbish. If you look at the convention, it says that every individual has a right to respect for his or her private life, but there should be no interference by a public authority with the exercise of this right, except such as in accordance with the law and is necessary in the interests of national security, public safety, or the economic well-being of the country, or for the prevention of disorder or crime. So it's very, very clear. The convention actually nullifies Ardit's excuses as to why he wishes to stay in the country. And he wants to stay here, obviously, because our houses are bigger than their houses and there's more stuff in them to nick. So it completely nullifies his claim. And it's not about the European Convention. It's about the deluded liberal judges and the reason that the entirety of Europe, the mainland of Europe, has drifted so quickly to the far right, because they find the judges of the ECHR just ludicrous, beyond ludicrous.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you have to remember is alleged sentient grown adults came to this decision. You know, if you're an immigrant to this country, I don't know what his status was. Presumably, he was an asylum seeker. Maybe.
What? Sorry, Kev, but let's stop there for a second. An asylum seeker from what? Albania hasn't been happier in its entire history. Not since King Zog was on the throne. It's a nation of peace. Most of the criminals have gone and come to London, so it's a great place to live. what on earth is? Why would anyone want asylum from Albania? What is the jurisdiction for getting asylum from Albania, apart from to make money by robbing people in their homes? I just don't get it.
Well, I'm with you, Rod, and to go back to the sentient adults who decided on Ardit's fate, these are grown adults, grown-ups. They looked at this and said, yes, this man must have the right to stay in this country. I mean, why? If you come to this country, legitimately or even illegitimately, and you purport to break our laws to the serious extent that you end up in prison. He served 2.5 years. We're not sure how long his actual sentence was, but he did 2.5 years behind bars. Then, that's it. No ifs, no buts. You should be out. You're gone.
You should be gone.
And why are there 10,000 other foreign prisoners who are clogging up our cells when we're busy letting out dangerous criminals to make room for more? What is going on? This is incoherent.
The way he's managed to stay here is by hooking up with some Lithuanian skank, which might be a lesson to all of us. Maybe we should all go out and do that at some point in time. Yeah. But it's not just Ardit, bless him, who we
get in trouble for that.
Yeah, we'll
Lithuanian skank.
I'm
sure she's a lovely girl, Rod.
A strong, vibrant, independent woman in her own right.
Exactly.
Come from Lithuania. Okay, I apologise to the skank. Right.
Stop it now.
I'm just stamping down the dirt on my own grave, aren't I, really? But it's not just that. If you remember, when we tried to extradite rapists, crack dealers and violent gangsters back to Jamaica, they were stopped. We weren't allowed to do so because they had a right, their right to a private life, which trumps all of our rights. It trumps our rights not to have our home burgled, not to be raped, not to be beaten up, not to be shot. All of their rights trump our rights. And that is why the European Court of Human Rights and its convention has become an absurdity, which is reviled, from Gdansk to Trieste and everywhere in the country. And the problem we have is we're not allowed to say this stuff because people will think we're racist for saying it's rude, not racist. But we aren't allowed to debate it, because as soon as you debate it, people like you, Kev, and me, and most of the people watching, and most of the population, something like 80% want a lower rate of immigration, are called racist. Yeah. Simply for saying there are too many people coming in, it's causing too much stress on our infrastructure, and some of them are criminals. Those are just incontestable facts. And yet to say them, you are painted into a corner as being a bigot.